Yeah, say something Southern.
Y'all have a good time.
Yeah.
All right.
Show these Canadians how Southern people are.
Actually don't.
Like Independence Day, New Year's Eve, everybody goes outside and shoots a shotgun. Instead of having fireworks and all that, you just go outside and shoot. And you know from who's, we all live on farms and you know from listening to the sound of the field when the shots are
Gives me editing
you know who's outside
opportunities.
celebrating.
Nobody gets hurt?
Well, 1 year.
No, of course people get hurt.
They think that somebody's messing around. I'm not able to, what you say, go out and face anybody, so I just go out and shoot at the mountain.
That's what you do.
And that way they know that I'm armed and I'm willing to use it.
You know what? You gotta have your feet so that they get the blood to them.
I don't mind it so much when your legs straight. I actually liked it crossed. If you could do that, I mean, like your ankles, like maybe with your elbow back. Is that okay?
Yeah, I might need just like a little something else behind.
Okay, and then your left arm, just have it be a little bit maybe higher. I'm not sure if you think you could do that. I'm nervous about your right hip though. So I'm going to move this thing a little bit.
I'll go do my stuff.
No, not at all. I'm just gonna do a couple shots of Sue.
We're just doing artsy things.
We're gonna edit it. I just need some shots of her painting to edit into all those shots we did for the new video of her. We're gonna do a figure one, all her figure paintings. Hey Sue, just don't talk for like 5 minutes while I film this, because otherwise I can't edit it into your thing.
Fox News, like that there was videos of clay being used in sex.
And with that,
And so you have all that, you know exactly where you're going to stay and all that.
Yeah, it's all planned out by the school.
Isn't that awesome?
I'm so excited.
Oh my God, it's like you don't really have to do anything.
I know, except for plan little trips like.
It's such a beautiful late afternoon. And Sadie is keeping me company. And here's the ladies. Hi, ladies. Why is there only one of you downstairs where all the good stuff is? Huh? Why? She's down there all by herself and she gets to scratch. Are you guys nervous about down there? Oh, I see David has the little heat lamp on. That's nice. Just in case you guys want a little warmth. I'm just gonna chill out for a bit. Ooh, you just went up the... Oh, okay, you went back down. You went up and you went down. I'm just gonna sit here and watch you guys for a bit. Just keep you company. I hear goats, I hear gunshots. There's Sadie. I don't know where David is. I came in here because I wanted to show everybody how long the process of packing, framing, shipping. So you have been spending the last, I'd say 2 to 3 days, along with doing the heat thing, but hours of first framing, taking photographs, installing, finding boxes, sometimes having to cut down boxes. The box you're working on, is that one you might have had to cut down?
This one I didn't have to.
Oh, okay. But a lot of times that happens because the box is way too big, and obviously for shipping costs, you need to cut things down or else it's really expensive. And so you've been using a lot of this extra foam to, like, this stuff is great, to kind of pack inside paintings. And anyways, I just thought...
This is the one for the one with... from the powwow of the...
Oh yeah, the guy holding the flag.
American flag.
And all of these paintings are going to Tucson, and we live in North Carolina, so it's expensive. It's just telling people that it's, you know, some people actually pay. Like, I know artists that literally just drop their painting off at a shipper, you know, a company that will package their paintings and everything, but then could be hundreds of dollars to, like, have somebody, you know, so we figure we need to do this stuff ourselves. Sometimes you have to make crates, but it's not just an afternoon project. It is days of, like, organizing, photographing, all this stuff, and then packing. And now you're weighing them, and then you tomorrow will drop them off at a FedEx location, like a real one, like where the trucks go, not just like a going postal.
Yeah, we go on the computer and then we put it in. We have a FedEx account, so we print out labels. I still write on them these addresses because if the label ever gets stamped.
Always put fragile. We put fragile on the fronts, on the backs, and on the sides.
And I put the paintings themselves, I'll either wrap in cardboard. This one I wrapped in cardboard first, and then I put it in. And the others I wrap in this really big 48 by 60 foot, really thick plastic, so that it's sealed. And these I just use
in case of
garbage
rain.
bags.
Yeah.
So even if these get soaked, they won't go through to the paintings.
Right.
So, yeah. So all the things
But it's a huge deal, and then you just hope that the gallery ships it back in the same box or crate that you sent it in. And many times we've spent hundreds of dollars putting paintings into really good crates or boxes, and then they come back in something that's horrible. But just all being an artist, and so then you have to figure out ways to store all this stuff. And we have that little storage barn, but you're hoping to build something on the side of his studio.
Will be very pretty.
Yeah, we're saying my studio will be pretty, and Scott's studio is more of a...
is all the tools, all the boxes.
Yeah, it's everything.
Everything. So,
But we're hoping to build a little kind of side thing to, like, have your tools and boxes and stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'm off to the studio.
Very good. Okay.
I wanted to give an update. Last time I showed you, Scott had one of these packages ready to go. I'm gonna say, what is the size? Oh, like 41 by 50 by, it was originally 5.5 or 6, and now he's put 2 packages together, which is 12 inches deep. Because when he went to FedEx and put it in, I think things have just quadrupled. And one of these boxes is going to cost $450 to ship. So then he talked to FedEx a few times, and he found out that if you actually make it deeper, it doesn't change, it only raises the price, or meaning so the reason why I'm explaining this so carefully is because every artist deals with this. And we've gone through so many different shipping companies, and it's just really hard when you get over a certain size, how you're going to ship something. Okay, so when we found out that one package was going to be $450, it was like, okay, for one piece, like that, no, like this is not good. And so in the past, we've done things where we put 2 boxes together, but he went in, he put 2 boxes together. So it only changed the price. Like he said, it went up $30. So that makes it worth it. But still, the price shouldn't be more than $150 at most. So he went and talked to a FedEx associate. We do have our own personal FedEx account. And supposedly that was supposed to give us discounts. I think Scott said something, it gave us a little bit of a discount on smaller things, but when you get bigger and when you're doing ground, that's the issue. So then he got a business discount, and I think the lady said we're going to get 40% off now. Can you imagine? So it's just like anything, you guys know, like if you have a phone company or you have DirecTV, and all of a sudden you don't really pay attention to your bill that much, and then all of a sudden you realize, wait, why am I paying $200 when it should only be $100, or $400 when it should only be this? And you call them and they're like, well, things changed. There was an update or something. And it's up to you to call us to change it. And so then Scott will be like, well, I guess I'm just going to leave your service. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we can give you this better deal. And you realize how gross that is. You realize how, it really is horrible. Because for us, if we just get it put on our credit cards, you don't know. And you have to have it, I guess, deducted from your bank account. You can do that type of thing so that you see the charge better. It can't be just glossed over. You just learn. You live and learn, but you realize that you do get cheated a lot. And I wanted to give you guys this idea about FedEx. Call them. Ask for a discount. Tell them, even if you have to inflate it a little bit, you might not be shipping 10 things off a month, but you tell them, I'm going to be shipping 10 things off a month, and, I'm going to be shipping larger things. And if you get a nice person like the lady Scott had, she really explained to Scott, how and why and all this stuff, and put a thing on our account so that when we go through the website and we go through our account, the discount is automatically put. It's still expensive. That's also something you have to understand about being an artist, and that's the shipping can and you also have to make sure galleries pay for shipping back. Don't get into this where you have to pay for shipping there and back. I wish we had known about this discount. Remember that Africa piece? I shipped that to Massachusetts, and that was a big, and then we had to ship that from Massachusetts to Texas. And if I had known about the discount beforehand, that would have made me be a lot happier. But I just wanted to give you an update on that.
Hello. Oh my God. I'm getting filmed. I'm being stalked by a digital.
We're at a FedEx drop off. This is like an actual building, kind of like a warehouse almost, not too far from us. And Scott is shipping off some of the boxes. I think he's shipping off literally 5 or 6. Some of them were put together that I showed you. I'm going to Tucson, Medicine Man. And some of this stuff, I'm taking extra easels and things to my studio, and then we're gonna get some of my stuff from my studio and bring it home. Lots of moving today. And we're also helping our neighbor, the guy who gave me those oak shelves. He's buying a bunch of stuff from the man who used to own the building, Ron, who has all these tables and, craftsman type stuff. So he's getting stuff from them. We're gonna help him move that. It's kind of rainy, but perfect day for doing this. How are you guys doing? How was everything? You having a good night? Hey, sweetie. Hey, Figgy, are you being good? Any destruction tonight? Thanks for keeping me company while I watch TV. Oh my god, you're so cute. Your little face is so cute. Your little paws are so cute. What's that? Oh, nothing. Hi, Figgy. Hi, Figgy. You have such big eyes. Alright, thanks for visiting with me. Gosh, it's chilly today. Really first real chilly day. Moving a lot of new stuff into my studio. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get a pretty photo of my studio before we move everything back in. I was really hoping, you know, you could have that like magazine shot where everything is in place and, you know, it's kind of sparse. You feel open, but no. We're moving too much stuff. I brought some of my big drawings. I brought my, you know, my monitors, all the type of stuff that Scott is helping me bring back today. There's our car with like the stuff that I got from down yesterday, and I'm gonna organize because today is, what is today? Today's Thursday, and Monday, as I'm having my first live stream here, so we have to test things out. We have to make sure that the monitors and the cords and the cameras, but that's what I was saying. I'm not going to get a good photo because we're going to have, if any of you seen my videos before, cameras, maybe extra lighting, tripods, there's so much stuff going on that it always starts to look really busy and really, you know, crowded. I'm putting more stuff up my loft. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing today, is getting my studio ready. And tomorrow we have a live model, which I'll show you a little bit of. I'm excited. We're going to paint Rose, one of our favorites. I'm setting up my computer table over there, and I'm going to vacuum and organize the studio. I've put up my monitor and my monitor stand, and I wanted to kind of show this little painting. Now, this painting is about, I think it's close to an 8x10. And this is what Scott used to paint on a lot, especially like when he was in school, when he was really young. You could get masonite pretty cheap at like big, you know, hardware stores, home improvement stores. And then he would gesso it. So there was a thin layer of gesso. Sometimes he would put textures. So you could see through the paint that he would put textures with like a brush and palette knife. And Richard did that too. Scott liked to have it be more textured than Richard. And so parts of his painting is pretty thin, and then you just see, it's like a wash, and you just kind of see the texture underneath. And then parts of his painting, so part of this is really thin, and then this part, he would use palette knife and thick brush strokes, and he would put like maybe a really, really thick brush stroke down and then just smooth it out just a little bit with palette knife. And this was done when we first moved here. So my studio, which I'm standing in right now, which would be like right here, wasn't there. And he's probably standing exactly where our solar panel, like on those poles are. That mountain is Hanging Rock National Park. Oh, I always say National Park. Hanging Rock State Park. I don't know why I say that. And that's our house from behind. But it's you know, I've had this forever in a frame, not a great frame, upstairs in our house. And I was like, since I'm trying to organize, I thought I'm just going to take it out of that crappy frame and just put it up on the shelf. I think, you know what's fascinating, you guys? When I get closer to the painting, it gets more contrasted. In real life, those greens are not as dark. So when I get farther away, that is more of what the actual colors are. Huh. And also the phone hyper sharpens it. You know, the phones are great and we're so lucky to have them, but it's, as we all know, it's hard to like show reality. I do kind of even love how simple he did these trees and like one little scratch, probably with a palette knife or something, to create those little color notes. But I'm going to keep this painting and I'm going to put it up on that shelf. Yeah, it's just a good memory because he did this really early on when we moved here. And I just wanted to show you guys, yeah, what he used to paint on. It looks kind of rugged, you know. It's, you can still get masonite and stuff and seal it yourself, but it's not really worth it. There's so many great companies out there. I do like this little house. Oh, it's making it too contrasted. Oh, that's sad. I like the purples, and I like, there's like how he painted the windows just slightly different colors, right? Not going very dark. Just how simple that is. I walked in to the house, and I just think it's so adorable how they get themselves. We like to have these blankets so they can cuddle up in them. But for some reason, Fig always loves to sleep at an angle. It's so funny how he always has his back legs higher than his head. And he always, when he sleeps, he's out like a light. Whereas like Theo will slightly open his eyes if he hears me walk in and talk about him. Oh, there you go, Fig. Oh my gosh. But I mean, you could pet him, you could do whatever, play with his feet, and he'll just still be out. He's not sensitive like that at all. You guys just look so cuddly. Oh my God, I just want to squeeze you. I'm gonna do it one last close-up. One last close-up for your face. Hi, sweetie. We can't even see Fig, he disappears. He's hiding. Good night. We're getting ready for our model Rose, and Scott he's always very conscious about safety, so he buys these, what do you call them?
Safety chains.
Safety chains.
This is actually a cable, I guess. Safety cable.
Oh, because all these lights, we have these like clamps, and they're pretty heavy duty, but it's, I mean, yeah, it'd be pretty scary if one of these things fell. So he always puts a safety chain. And my studio is in shambles. I'm taking so much stuff and bringing it home and then moving things here. So Scott and I are gonna paint Rose, just the two of us. Try to figure out the best way, because unfortunately, because these lights are low and because I have these fluorescents, and to be honest, it's like, it's not ideal. So trying to figure out where to pose the model with these lights and not get a double light. I brought stuff for her to try on, and we'll see what she's wearing, and we'll just see what happens today. We're gonna take it easy, meaning we're gonna go slow, and I'm not going to think of this as a block-in. I'm gonna try and go a lot slower, and so is Scott, because Scott is, he gessoed this yesterday, and this is like a wood cradle. Oh my gosh, you gessoed the back too. So in case of like moisture or weather.
It helps for moisture and water, but also because those are thin wood panels, if you do one side only, it'll often want to kind of bend.
Oh.
And you can pull it off of that. It won't be as stable.
Yeah.
Just like when you do anything, if you do one side, it'll start to bend.
Yeah.
So doing both sides at the same time keeps it.
And you kind of, I had videoed your little landscape, and I wanted to show people. In fact, I want to video you doing that, because you can see how with the gesso,
You put it up here with the light.
he had used brush work and palette knife work, and it's relatively smooth, because I could tell you skimmed the surface with a palette knife.
I did, yeah.
How many coats is this? How
Just
many?
one.
Whoa. Do you think that's gonna be enough?
Yeah, it's a real heavy gesso, so it
All right.
soaks into the board.
And I guess for you, it honestly doesn't matter if it sinks in a little bit.
Yeah, no,
Like for you, you probably
it
wouldn't
was enough
problem.
to seal it. It totally sealed it thoroughly.
But we're liking these cradle boards because you could easily just paint the sides. And
One thing you want a little bit keep in mind is this one is going to be for vertical, because it makes it a lot easier. I can put screws, I can put
on the
hangers
inside,
here, and then have a wire here, and you can hang it, and it'll hang flat against the wall.
right?
But if you do it horizontally, it can be a little more tricky
Because of that bar.
because of the bar. So you can put two on here if you want to hang
Oh,
flat
you mean
against
two
the wall.
wires?
2 wires, and then you'd hang it on two like that. Or you can also, I mean, there's other ways, but that's the main way you would do it.
Because you really want your pictures to hang flat instead of that kind of
So when you put
awkwardness.
them against the wall-
Well, kind of like this. You'd see how maybe the top of that
You put
mirror.
against the wall, it would hang like this. And so if you paint the sides of these,
Yeah.
they can be very nice.
But seeing that mirror, you can see how it's bending forward a little
Because
bit.
the wire was put, like if you put the wires on the outside here, then
Yeah.
it's not going to hang flat. You have to put the little things on the corners.
Those
but you'll still
little
have that gap.
felt stops.
Right, you'll still have that gap. It's really nice if you're going to do them where you paint the sides and don't have it in a frame.
Yeah.
It just hangs perfectly flat and it looks really nice. A lot of contemporary
Yeah.
paintings are done that way.
Well, and that's a 30 by 24, and so you're planning on pretty much sketching it out, starting it, but you know you're not going to finish it. Just like me, I know I'm not going to finish it today.
Spend longer on it, that's why I'm doing the
And you brought your good camera to take photos of Rose, to maybe do some hands from the photos, because you won't even finish the face today. It's really just getting a good block in and a good composition.
Yeah, I'll mainly work on the face and kind of sketch in where I want the other stuff. And
Yeah.
then I'll probably do some more imaginative things in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Once we have her for a couple of sessions and we get her, I can always play them with the background and put other
Right.
things in there.
I don't know exactly what we're going to do. I mean, I'm not going to paint that big, but I just know that I'm not going to think of it as a block in. I'll see. I'm going to look through my canvases and see what I have. But yeah, no, the studio looks like crap.
Especially
But
coming
it
from
doesn't.
the other studio.
Well, I know my other studio seems so nice now, and this one seems like a
And
dungeon.
we have each zone of lights.
I know, Scott. Everybody knows that. Okay.
That's the difficulty.
I've decided this is a 16 by 12. I always have to say the vertical, then the horizontal. And this is just an old Raymar board that I had showed you in a past video, how I had done a painting on it and hated it, and then just did an oil primer. So you can kind of still see a little bit of the ghosting colors, but that's okay. I'm gonna use that as my canvas today. It's amazing that Scott is gonna be able to get this 30-inch canvas on this, you call it the Coulter easel, or that's what it's called, right? The Coulter easel?
Coulter, yeah, it's artboxandpanel.com.
Yeah. And you say that if you do something really, really big, you just put the canvas on your knees?
This isn't even, no, I put it on the top of this. This isn't even, I'll show you, this isn't even my tall one. I have a bigger one than this. But
Oh my God, look how that paint.
yeah,
So you laid out your paint beforehand.
I laid out a few things and then some of these were old paints and then these are the chunky
Oh my
stuff.
God, that's disgusting.
So yeah, I love the chunky stuff.
Oh jeez,
So yeah.
that's disgusting. Thank God you're not a chef.
See, so what I'll do is I'll put this thing here out like this. That's how I want to do it. This is kind of a bigger canvas.
I mean, we have a bunch of other standing easels, but you,
Yeah, well, I mean, I
Yeah.
can use it if I need to. But,
Uh-huh.
pretty much I just put this on here.
and it's not always easy when you have really thick stretcher bars or these sort of cradle boards to,
I can raise this up as high as I want here.
okay.
And so then I can just put this on the edge here. And then I just lower this down to hold this here.
Okay.
See how this goes down here? So I can just.
Well, those little nails, do those hold it enough?
Well, yeah, you can use the nails or you can use something else.
Sometimes you say that you actually use like a clamp.
Yeah, I can just clamp it to this too, so I might just do that. But
Yeah.
that's how I generally will do it if I'm outside. See that? I nearly have
Okay.
room for a much bigger one, so. Yeah.
And I didn't know really, since I like to use a lot of monotone or harmony paintings, I chose this Venetian red in Rembrandt, Terra Rosa in Vasari, and I also have titanium white in Winsor Newton, so we use all brands. And I thought I would test it out because Terra Rosa and Venetian red can be very, very similar in certain brands. So this is the Rembrandt. So if you, right out of the tube, you can't really tell that much. But I wanted to add white because you can only really see the pure color until you add white. And the Venetian is a lot bluer. And the Terra Rosa is a lot, what I would call warm. So this is definitely warmer and that's definitely cooler. So it's just something to think about when you are choosing harmonies. And maybe you have more of a warm harmony, maybe you have more of a cool, depending on your light source or what your preferences are. I'm gonna wait to see what she looks like and what we put her in before I start decide which one of these I'm gonna work on. And I think I'm just gonna do this and then maybe a blue. You know, I have ultramarine blue, I have some in Vasari, in Michael Harding. I might just do either blue or ivory black. I haven't quite decided. And then I have a handful of rosemary brushes over here. And since I have a zillion brushes over there, if I need to pick more up, I will. But, yep. I'm just gonna film a tiny bit of what she looks like when we paint her. And then in the next video, I'll show you guys more of what we're doing. It took us a while to get the lighting correctly. Finally, turning off some of these lights and making it a little bit stronger light source. And we're about to start.
But later I might.
Creepy face.
I
face,
I know,
yeah.
I just say it looks a little science fiction-y. But you can change it. It doesn't have to paint the exact colors.
Yeah, no,
or the
I'm just going to use it
exact
as
hair
a starting
shape.
point and play. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm putting one in a painting I'm doing at home right now. And I took pictures of this really cool bird's nest in the house. And it was like on the house. And I had the...
Looks very, very, very interesting.
That's one of those things. Yeah, sure. It's a compliment.
Wow.
Still or?
Yeah, Christendom College.
Oh, cool.
So, I put an apron on Scott just so that he wouldn't get his jeans all...
It's really just my hands.
Well, and look at, yeah, oh my God, Scott's actually wearing surgical gloves.
Because I get so dirty and I gotta wash them off when I do the block in.
You are kind of in the dark over here. Remember, I was nervous that you were going to be in the dark.
Yeah, that's alright. I can turn it this way if I want. So I'm gonna try
It resembles rose,
I don't know.
but it's definitely...
Looks like a woman, maybe.
It definitely
Alien
is
woman.
Rose visiting a psychoanalyst. You know, it's like whatever, like your thoughts in your mind, right? Your dream state.
This is the stage where you can have fun because you haven't committed to something. Once you start to get too detailed, it can be hard to loosen it back
Yeah.
up. So I can always make it tight.
I like that stroke right there on her nose.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that thick stroke.
And you found that one layer of gesso was fine?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's real slippery.
Oh, okay.
It's I put it on real heavy, so it's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
In the way.
I was saying that I've been out of painting from live practice and my shoulders and back were really tense, especially towards the end. It looks neat.
Yeah, I kept changing it, trying this, trying that.
Yeah, no, I like how she stands out from all that abstraction. Cool, in the very beginning it did look a little, wow, like I don't even know, like crazy. I still have to work on mine. But yeah, I just feel like, it's like you have to build up that muscle to be able to paint, from life and for like 3 or more hours,
Yeah.
Are you guys playing? I've been hearing a lot of ruckus noises. Hi, Theo. Are you king of the hill? You guys are way too cute. You hear people walking up, don't you? God, they have such good hearing. Outside, somebody's walking and they hear it. It's amazing.